Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, the Bard of the Boulevard, plus an unusual way of looking at adoption. Ray Hagar has the rundown.
Thanks, Sam. Our first guest today is John L. Smith, the columnist for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. And then we'll talk to former Miss Nevada, Teresa Benetiz, and talk to her about her role in finding homes for adopted children.
And coming up on the Power Pundit panel today, Mike Alonso, Mylan Hawkins, and Dick Gammick. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
Here at the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, water resources come from fresh, clean groundwater, approved by state permits. The water is pumped from wells to million-gallon storage tanks and then distributed to TRI companies. Another amenity is our investment in a state-of-the-art wastewater treatment plant. This disposal system converts waste to clean water for industrial applications. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevada.
When making your decision as where to play golf, consider the resort at Red Hawk. You know you have made the right choice the moment you arrive. The friendly staff welcomes you to our award-winning pro shop. You know you've made the right decision on the first tee. The Lakes course is in the best condition in years. You know you've made the right choice after you've played 18 holes. The resort at Red Hawk, the right choice.
Nevada Newsmakers is sponsored in part by the Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and Social Security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
So, who do you use for workers' comp?
Pro Group Management.
Ah, I've heard some good things about them.
You bet. Employee background checks, safety training, claim seminars. Oh, and here's the great part. If you have an issue, they work for you, not against you.
Sounds perfect. And expensive.
Well, that's the best part. They saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
Works for me. Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And we welcome to the program John L. Smith, columnist for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. It's a pleasure to have you here, John.
Hey, it's great to be back.
I got to say to you, your column this morning, a little cranky here about oil prices.
See, it's not just we wealthy columnists, out there who can afford gasoline and are now having troubles. So it's, I'll tell you what, I've just grown so frustrated by the major media spin on this issue that it's just it kind of just leaked out there yesterday.
Okay, so what do you perceive it to be?
Pardon?
What do you perceive it to be?
Well, clearly, the OPEC nations have basically had the ability to gouge customers almost at will. They've had ability to set oil prices, to manipulate oil prices, and certainly the war in Iraq is affecting that, and certainly consumption in the Far East is affecting that. But the bottom line is that their profits are at record levels, and if their profits are at record levels, it's because they're making more money and by producing a similar amount of oil.
Okay, John, I got one word for you.
Yeah.
Hummers. We are idiots in this country. We are driving vehicles that consume enormous... What do Hummers get? Like 10 gallons to the mile? Is that?
Yes.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's got one.
I mean, what are we doing here? If we're taking this serious, we're crazy.
That's very true. Americans are pigs, and I absolutely agree with that. We're gasoline pigs. But the other part of it is this, that there's nothing new in that. We can cut back, and certainly maybe the rising price of gasoline, we'll have people buy Hummer Juniors, like a Whopper Junior. It'll only have half the fat or half the. At any rate, obviously there are issues that make this complex. But when you're paying it at the pump, you just want to vent.
Well, I got to add one more thing before I let Ray jump in here because he's chomping at the bit. But the other thing is refining capacity. I mean, when was the last time they built a new refinery in this country? We have a few refineries in Northern California, but it doesn't matter how much oil we get out of the ground. If we can't refine it, we can't have an excess quantity, and therefore prices are not going to go down. It's just a commodity like anything else.
Well, that's very true, and it's to the oil companies' benefit not to create more, because that would drive prices down. That would, of necessity, you'd have higher oil and gasoline stocks in reserve. Some of the oil companies have already been fined for depleting reserves and basically holding stock back is what they're doing. In order to keep the prices inflated, because it affects their bottom line. I mean, there are record quarterly profits for ExxonMobil and Shell, International Shell. So, I mean, they are certainly, they're not hurting. We're the ones hurting by paying it at the pump.
Well, John, speaking of hurting with money, let's talk about the upcoming trial of the Hells Angels and Mongol bicycle clubs that got into the riot in Laughlin a few years ago that resulted in 3 people dying. In a recent column, you pointed out that how much justice is Nevada willing to pay for, because to bring these people to justice, it's going to take millions and millions of dollars. Could you comment on that?
Sure, certainly. One of the ironies of having a deadly rumble in the middle of a casino, as the Hells Angels and Mongols did at the Harrah's Laughlin 2 years ago. One of the ironies is, of course, you do nothing that isn't on tape. And so their whole fight was on videotape. It took months and months to put that onto digital and to break it down into a section by section way in order for the prosecution to actually identify who some of the people swinging hammers and wrenches and shooting at each other, who they actually were. So that has taken a great amount of time, effort, and money. What's happening here is you have a couple of different things going on. The state is really embarrassed. I mean, let's face it, when major motorcycle gangs have a shootout in a casino, it sends a very bad message.
To say the least.
And it hurts the all-night buffet.
Yeah, I mean, I know that we're into these alternative kinds of entertainment in Las Vegas these days, but I don't think it includes revving Harleys and 45 automatics flying back and forth. So, you've got that to take care of. The fact is that there was a substantial amount of criminal activity that went on, although the defense attorneys will argue that it was all self-defense. On the other side, you have the federal investigation going on, and they're working at a different level. That level is they're basically looking at the Hells Angels group as an organized crime cartel and with international connections. So they're pursuing this case. They're seeing this case as a way to break the back of the Hells Angels. Why they're not also breaking the back of the Mongols is a really good question, in part because they had FBI undercover agents and associates in the Mongols gang at the time of this shootout. So there are a lot of things going on in this case. My bottom line is this. If the whole point is for the prosecution is to put somebody away for 100 years, well, one of these cases can do that. To have both cases going on simultaneously, and certainly if the state case concludes, it will conclude first, the federal case will then follow. I mean, we're talking about a substantial outlay of money, millions and millions of dollars. And I just thought that, for dollar in, dollar out, we could probably put it to better use.
Okay, I got to go with one last thing here because we're running out of time. I'm going to quote you some words you've probably heard before here because you wrote them in a column about a month ago. Joe the animal squealed like a pitchforked piglet. Sammy the bull howled like a scalded steer. Some of the mob's most notorious tough guys, men who swore an oath of silence and built fearsome reputations, yammered like auctioneers when it was their turn to do time. And yet Lance Malone, facing 2 federal corruption cases that threatened to send him packing to the penitentiary for upward of a decade, has been a piece of granite. Is Lance Malone a corrupt clown in denial or the last stand-up guy in Las Vegas? What do you think at this point?
I would have to lean toward clown and denial, but that's just me.
You know, getting back to this Laughlin thing.
Okay, go ahead.
I was near Laughlin when that happened, and I really thought it was just a, Mike Tyson's entourage cutting up. I never realized that it was the Mongols and the Hells Angels.
Yeah, even for Tyson, a shootout that kills 3 people is a lot.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, I think that there's that case is one that's going to be followed not only by the locals and by FBI type authorities, but the DEA has been working on different elements of motorcycle group activity for many years. They've infiltrated, and they've gone way out of their way to try to break down some of these gangs because they believe that they're the ones who are shipping a lot of the drugs across the border from Mexico and down from Canada. And so, there's a lot at stake here. There's a lot of belief systems being tested, not only the federal government's belief system, but also the strength of the unity of these of these motorcycle groups.
John, we're out of time. We love having you on the program, man. We look forward to you being back here.
Anytime.
All right. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
The Hells Angels don't bite people's ears off. Gotta tell you.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
My family started this business 27 years ago.
We work hard to serve our customers and our community.
But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof. Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%, lobby for your interests, and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
Thanks to an ongoing commitment by America's mining companies, more than 2 million acres already have been reclaimed. To learn more about reclamation or other aspects of mining, visit nma.org. The National Mining Association.
If it's fun, it's here at the Peppermill, the $100,000 video-themed slot celebration, with more winners each week, 100 random winners every Monday and Wednesday, and more cash prizes, $6,000 random drawings every Friday, plus chances to win up to $1,000 in free slot play on Mr. Money's Challenge. You'll have more fun with the Peppermill's video-themed slot celebration, now worth over $100,000.
The slots that rock are at the Peppermill. Where are you winning?
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And we welcome to the program Teresa Benetiz, and she is the adoption coordinator for Washoe County. Welcome to the program. You are involved in a very unique program. First of all, let's explain that in Washoe County, which is the Reno area, there are cable access channels that belong to the City of Sparks, City of Reno, and Washoe County. And as part of Washoe County's program, you have an adoption program on there.
Yes.
Explain what this adoption program is.
Well, it's an exciting new show in which we feature children who are waiting for adoption in Washoe County. And so Mike Walterbeek with the county and Kathy Carter, all those folks, decided we have so much original programming that we can develop for the Washoe cable channel, Channel 17, we ought to include adoptions into this. And we thought this was perfect because we have a number of children who are waiting for homes in Washoe County, adoptive homes. So why not show our own community who these kids are and try to recruit for families here so that the kids from here can stay here.
Okay, what kind of response have you got?
An amazing response, and we are so happy that the community seems to be very receptive to the new show. We've had a number of calls. In fact, I think we had about 30 calls after the first airing of the television show. So I'm glad to know that Northern Nevadans are watching, and they're calling to find out about who these kids are.
Well, Teresa, this show does have its critics, and the critics say that what you're doing is invading these children's privacy by putting them on television. They likened a show to a show where you find homes for household pets. Could you respond to that?
You know, I would say that the welfare and the well-being of these children is our ultimate concern. We do have a court order to recruit, and the court mandates us to recruit for an adoptive home when our agency becomes aware of the fact that sending this child back to their biological parents is not going to be an option. And before a child is ever aired on television, before their picture is taken, we have extensive conversations with this child about the adoption process. In fact, they work a number of times with therapists to prepare them for adoption and to get ready for their new adoptive families. And I'll tell you, I have yet to meet a kid who is not enthusiastic about finding their forever family.
Well, I have to use a personal example here because my granddaughter, just a couple of Fridays ago, was permanently adopted by her new stepfather.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And to see what occurred with this 7-year-old child from the time that she found out that she was going to be adopted and through the process, which means that there is a discussion with the court as well as with the counselors and all the way through, and the pride, and I can't even describe really the connection. You know, there's a missing parent when a child does not have parents, and it's not a little deal. It's a huge deal.
It's an amazing big part of this child that gets filled when they know that they have a forever family and parents who are making a lifelong commitment to love them, especially the children in the child welfare system, because they don't end up in adoptions by simply appearing there. They've been through the foster care system, they've been through the child welfare system, and by the time they get to me, they are very excited to have a happy, healthy, permanent home in which they're looking for parents who just want to love them. And in Washoe County, we celebrate Adoption Day. In fact, we have a big event coming up in November. That's National Adoption Month. But twice a year, we've been holding adoption days where all the kids are at the family courts, and it's when the adoptions are finalized. And there is not a day that is happier for these kids than when they legally become adopted by a parent. And the look in their eyes, and just, it's written all over their entire body language in their face. They are in love with their families.
And there's not a dry eye in the house.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
Now, Teresa, this television program is funded by a $72,000 grant from the federal government, but it's not the only part of the program.
No.
Don't you have billboard advertising, radio spots? Could you explain all that?
We're really trying to make this a well-rounded campaign where, in addition to the TV show, we are launching billboards to feature children who are waiting for adoptions, trying to do a lot of PR to increase the awareness of our Northern Nevada community about the need for adoptive homes. And the real reason why is because last year, 39% of the children who we had finalized adoptions with went out of state. And it's really traumatic and hard for a child to, first of all, leave the family that they used to know, but then secondly, leave the community that they've known. If we can keep the kids here adopted by Washoe County families, it means that they can still attend churches that they've gone to, go to the schools they've gone to, continue to have friendships with friends that they've made throughout their lifetime. It means that they get to hold on to a lot more connections than if we had to move these kids out of state.
Now, is there something like this in Clark County at this point?
You know, Clark County does real aggressive recruitment, and I know the recruiter down there is working diligently to find homes. Do they have an adoption television show? Not that I'm aware of, but they do a lot of great things with the casinos. They had a fundraiser with some celebrities recently, so they use their little niche there in Las Vegas to promote adoptions.
I think, having watched the show, because I happened to be flipping through the channels in the office the other afternoon, I for research purposes, and I happened to come across this program, and thoroughly entertaining and very heartwarming. I think you should send a copy down to Clark County, because I think they could use this.
Oh, great. Well, I will. And thank you for the compliment on the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's on Channel 17, correct?
Channel 17, yes.
Okay, if you're in Washoe County, that's where you're going to see it. Teresa Benetiz, thank you so much for being here. We want you to come back because we want you to talk about some of your other loves.
Okay.
And that will be more in line with what we usually do on our pundit panel.
What time is it on, Teresa, real quickly?
You know, you can contact the media center, and they will let you know the times that it's on. It runs multiple times throughout the week. So your odds of flipping onto Channel 17 and having it show up within the hour are pretty good.
Okay.
You know, it airs more times than Nevada Newsmakers. That will tell you how often it's running.
Well, I hope it doesn't air at the same time.
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Since its creation more than a decade ago, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has focused on 3 goals:
Preserving water quality, improving water conservation in southern Nevada, and meeting the community's current and future water needs. Through thoughtful planning, responsible management, and collaboration, it's succeeding. As we move into the 21st century, the authority continues to embrace sustainable water development and efficient water use. That's our promise to Nevada.
When making your decision as where to play golf, consider the resort at Red Hawk. You know you have made the right choice the moment you arrive. The friendly staff welcomes you to our award-winning pro shop. You know you've made the right decision on the first tee. The Lakes course is in the best condition in years. You know you've made the right choice after you've played 18 holes. The resort at Red Hawk, the right choice.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And we're joined by our Power Pundit panel today. Dick Gammick is here, the Washoe County District Attorney. Mylan Hawkins is here. She's Vice President of Interface Computer Associates. And Mike Alonso with Jones Vargas. Welcome to all of you.
Michael, let me start with you. There's been talk recently that Lynn Hetrick will step down as the Assembly Minority Leader. And already there seems to be like a feeding frenzy for that job. Do you think he will actually step down and leave the Assembly?
Well, I heard the rumors like everybody else has. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine that Lynn is probably still frustrated with being in the minority, but he's been in the minority for a long time, other than one session, I believe, and he's got business interests that he's a developer now in Carson City and in that area, and he could, but I don't know really anything about it. I haven't talked to him personally, and it could just be a rumor.
Well, no, he had said quite openly on Newsmakers when he was taping the session that this might have been his last session. I think it would be a great loss to the state. I mean, he's been the voice of reason, despite the way he's been painted sometimes in the media, but I think he's certainly been the voice of reason many times on fiscal issues especially.
Oh, I agree, and I think he's got a wealth of experience, and he's a very bright guy, and he knows how to work and try to build consensus on issues, and he knows when to, pull back and try to resist things. But again, he may be just getting frustrated with being in that minority over there and not really being relevant on most of the bills.
Dick, talking about being frustrated, you've got to be pretty frustrated about an incident that happened here in Reno in the last week with a paintball gun.
Yeah, we had our first paintball drive-by shooting happen Sunday. And an individual, a 48-year-old man who just walking down the street was hit in the eye, and he's blind now. And I just wanted to bring that up because somebody knows who did it, somebody knows who was driving, and it would really be appreciated if somebody would call the Reno Police Department so we can go ahead and follow up on this case. And then you need to I think we need to tell people too that paintball guns may be toys, but they are dangerous. Just like playing with BB guns or any other small weapon like that shoots projectiles are not necessarily lethal, but they are dangerous. So you got to follow the rules.
Is this something that's a trend, or is this just a one-off shot?
This is the first time we've run into this. I have no doubt in my mind now that the seed has been planted that we're going to see more of it. I don't know if Southern Nevada has had any of these experiences or not, but this is the first time we've had it.
Dick, also you took issue that the Hells Angels and the Mongols are not, quote, motorcycle clubs, they're motorcycle gangs.
They meet every single definition there is of gangs. They are into drugs, they're into guns, they're into weaponry, they're a little smarter than they used to be. The old ride into town and dominate and take over and do that, although what happened in Laughlin wasn't that far away. So it's still, they're gangs, they're the biggest drug dealing organizations in the world, not just our country. And look it up on the internet. You don't have to take Dick Gammick on this. Look up on the internet as to all the issues that are going on all over the world. Last time I looked everything up, they were having fights with rockets and all kinds of stuff up in Canada and in Europe over the whole drug trafficking.
I got to point out one thing. Every time we have this discussion, and we've had this discussion several times, I immediately get phone calls from lawyers and doctors who say, hey, not all members of the Hells Angels are gang members in this manner, but they're members of a motorcycle club.
Well, and I'll dispute that to my final breath. If they're a member of the Hells Angels, they are a member of a gang. If they are out as a mom-and-pop motorcycle club, riding Harleys, doing those kinds of things, I'll agree totally. There's doctors and lawyers and all kinds of people doing that, and I'm not adverse to it in the slightest. But for them to keep representing that they're just a mom-and-pop professional organization is just hooey. And I'll fight it from now on. I get the same phone calls. I get phone calls from people that I used to chase around on the streets as gang members that say, we're not a gang, we're a motorcycle club, and we just ride our motorcycles. No, you don't.
I want to point out,
gangs.
This is the first time we've used the word hooey on this program.
That kept me from saying anything else.
There was a story in this morning's paper in the Reno Gazette Journal about the federal government warning us against threats from all kinds of people and all kinds of organizations, and we don't quite know where they are and what country they're from.
Those angels.
Right. And you know what? I want to point out that we are sitting on a planet that is spinning around the sun in a great rotation, that meteors killed the dinosaurs. Life is full of dangers. Are we just being scared to death again?
I really, I think it's important we do live in troubled times. We have lived in troubled times for a very long time, and this isn't the first time. I think that our government needs to rethink the way it prepares us. And we all have the responsibility of doing the same thing in our community. Dick, you're in law enforcement. The police departments should be better prepared. Hospitals need to be better prepared. But you don't need to scare the bejesus out of everybody, you'll pardon my French, by saying, something might happen, we don't know where, we don't know who it's coming from, but it could happen any time now. Well, terrific. The sky could fall any time now. I don't think we're doing a service to anyone in this country by the way our homeland security, which is beginning to sound like intelligence in this country, as an oxymoron. I'm looking at the British government, who did a superb job in tracking people down.
Well, with the one exception of killing the Brazilian guy.
Yes,
who
but
was
you know
completely
what?
Innocent.
We have gone out, and with all due respects, our law enforcement has killed innocent people too, and not even under subjects that have been quite so devastating as this.
Okay, and that's where we got to leave it. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
High-tech companies demand perfect world amenities. They require clean, reliable power, state-of-the-art fiber optic communications, and clean water sources. In a perfect world, companies would have immediate access to rail and interstate freeways. There would be 4-lane expressways that shorten shipping times and provide convenient commute routes for valued employees. Well, the future is now, and it's here. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends is the Tamarack Junction. Play over 480 of the hottest slots and video poker games. Enjoy hot times and sizzling food specials at Sully's Sports Bar, Grill, and Nightclub. Watch your favorite game on one of our jumbo high-definition plasma TVs. Enjoy great food 24 hours a day in the Dining Car Restaurant. Or sample the best hot and cold sandwiches in the Whistle Stop Deli. The Tamarack Junction is your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway. Yeah.
Don't forget, if you miss an episode of Nevada Newsmakers, you can watch it online at nevadanewsmakers.com.
Well, Sam, tomorrow we're going to find out why a massive new indoor water park is being built in Reno and not Las Vegas.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay, here we go.